Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this wonderful Memorial Day. Wonderful, not as in happy. I don't know where we got into this Memorial Day being a day of Happy Memorial Day and picnics, and tell us about your latest sale and what are you giving away today, because all of it takes us back to our space inside of entitlement, if you will. That sounds a little strong, but it definitely takes us to that place where we're thinking about spending on ourselves, and it takes us away from what this day is meant to be. Thank you for joining me. Today is a day of recognition for all of those warriors and frontline people who have risked their lives for us to have freedom. And so today is not a day of happy necessarily. It is a day of freedom, and it is a day of solace. It's a day to recognize the sadness of the loss of life, to sacrifice for freedom. So I'd like us to kind of take a moment, and my challenge for everyone watching today is to create your own gratitude. It is a day to look inside and say, what am I grateful for? And can I then look around at my life and what we're all going to and reflect. Yes, it is absolutely a day of reflection, and to see what it is that has brought us to this place of good, right? Even at this time of COVID, when things may not feel as abundant as they normally do in this country, let's sit back and realize what we have in the way of freedom, and let's really be grateful for what we have. So I challenge you first to consciously express what you're grateful for in the freedom offered in this country, and then take that back to the lives that have been willingly sacrificed for this freedom and for the opportunities we have. And then I'm going to offer you a second challenge, and that challenge is during your picnic, which is a wonderful way to celebrate Memorial Day because it brings family together and it honors family and it honors that freedom to move about. And we may be doing our picnics, in our own yards in some areas. We may be going to parks and staying distant from other families having picnics. And we may be having picnics inside in South Florida because it's raining like terrible today, which is why the color is so off today. But if we have our picnics today and we gather together, let's create our own prayer of thanks. Try not to use a memorized prayer today. Try to use something that says thank you for this day and for the freedom that we have, even at a time where we're watching the divisiveness over our freedom being challenged because of a goofy little mask. The freedom and the unity go hand in hand. So that is gifted to us, and it is kept alive for us by all of the men and women on the front line who were willing to sacrifice their lives for our life to be free. So on this Memorial Day, reach out to the veterans you know and say thank you, because they are grieving the loss of their fellow warriors on this day. And let's not forget that that is what this day is about. A day of really honoring, of commending, of being grateful for and thanking those people who have risked their lives and sacrificed their lives for us. So I thank you all for joining me on this morning. I wish you a very, very wonderful and reflective and inward kind of day where you are grateful for all that you have and really offer your prayer to those whose lives were passed before ours for our freedom. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.